Imagine a team of scientists on a space mission, exploring a distant planet. They stumble upon an alien technology that's far more advanced than anything humans have ever seen. But there's a strange twist. There are no aliens anywhere to be found. What happened to them? Did they disappear, or did they leave behind this technology for a reason? The story begins on Phobos, a small moon orbiting Mars. A top-secret base has been set up here by a US company called Kia. They discovered this alien technology on a previous space mission and have been studying it ever since. Dr. Burt is leading the research team on Phobos, while another team, led by Dr. Ahmed, is working on a similar project in a secret lab in the middle of the desert on Earth. The scientists have been trying to figure out how to use this alien technology, and they think they've finally cracked the code. They've built a portal, which they call gates, that can teleport a person from the Earth lab to the Phobos base. The portal is covered in strange symbols that the scientists don't fully understand, but they're eager to test it out. A nervous test subject, a man, is about to step into the portal. He's scared, but he's also curious. As he enters the portal, the scientists hold their breath. Will it work? Will he disappear forever? The man steps into the portal, and in an instant, he's transported to the Phobos base. The team of scientists was ecstatic when they successfully used the alien technology to teleport a person from Earth to the Phobos base. But their joy was short-lived, and her expression turned from excitement to horror. The man's body was changing, mutating before their eyes. He was no longer human. Meanwhile, a spaceship carrying a team of soldiers was approaching the Phobos base. They had been sent from Earth several months ago to provide security for the base. As the ship approached its destination, the soldiers began to wake up from their cryosleep. They were a team of ex-military personnel, now working for the USA company that owned the Phobos base. During dinner, the vice commander, Joanna, briefed the team on their mission. She reminded them that they were no longer fighting on Earth, but on an alien planet with unknown conditions. They had to be prepared for anything. The team consisted of seasoned soldiers, but one of them stood out, Dr. Bannett, a scientist who was also Joanna's ex-boyfriend. Joanna barely spoke to him, and the tension between them was palpable. Back on the Phobos base, Dr. Burt was discussing the failed teleportation experiment with Dr. Ahmed on Earth. Despite their tests showing that the alien gates were functioning normally, something had gone horribly wrong. Dr. Burt suggested that he himself should enter the gates and try to teleport to the Earth base. Before landing on the Phobos base, Captain Savage briefed his team on the base's layout. He explained that the base had 3 levels, with a powerful nuclear reactor on the 3rd level. This reactor provided energy for the base's experiments and equipment. The team's main job was to protect the reactor from any damage, as an explosion could destroy the entire base and kill everyone on board. After the briefing, Captain Savage sent a message to his family, revealing that this was his last mission. He had been promised a large sum of money, which would allow him to retire and spend time with his loved ones. Meanwhile, on the Phobos base, Dr. Burt was preparing to enter the alien portal. He told his colleague, Dr. Veronica, that he had become obsessed with the alien technology since discovering it. He believed that the technology was created by an advanced alien civilization that was far superior to humans. Dr. Burt explained that if humans could understand and harness the power of this technology, they could teleport across vast distances, even light years. This would give humans the ability to explore the universe with ease and make them unstoppable. The situation at the moon base has taken a dark and ominous turn. Dr. Burt's entry into the alien portal has triggered a catastrophic chain of events, causing the base's power to fluctuate wildly and unleashing a reign of terror upon the personnel. The sounds of screams and chaos fill the air, and even Dr. Veronica, who had been in control just moments before, is now overcome with fear. Meanwhile, the soldiers on the vessel, led by Captain Morgan, are oblivious to the unfolding disaster. They attempt to make contact with the base via radio, but their calls are met with an eerie silence. With no response, the captain orders his team to prepare to enter the base, sensing that something is terribly wrong. As the soldiers connect their vessel to the base, they are immediately struck by the malfunctioning power systems. The lights flicker, and the air is thick with an ominous energy. The team exchanges nervous glances, their instincts screaming that they are walking into a nightmare. Upon entering the base, the soldiers are met with an eerie stillness. The only sound is the creaking of the malfunctioning systems and the faint hum of the nuclear reactor, which is now on the brink of collapse. The team quickly assesses the situation, realizing that they have a mere 90 minutes to reset the server and prevent a catastrophic explosion. As the soldiers venture deeper into the base, they are met with an eerie silence. The absence of any personnel is unsettling, and the captain captain's decision to split the team into two groups seems like a wise move. Lieutenant Joanna's team is tasked with finding the server, while the captain's team heads to the second level to investigate. Joanna's team soon stumbles upon a gruesome discovery: a dead scientist, with cryptic messages scrawled on the walls in the same alien language that has been a mystery to the team. The implications are clear. Something has gone horribly wrong on the base. Joanna quickly reports back to the captain's team and the pilot, Morgan, warning them to exercise extreme caution. Because people are lying dead here, they suddenly encounter a mutated scientist who is preying on others. When he sees the soldiers, he runs towards them to attack, but the soldiers kill him instantly. Meanwhile, the captain's team has found 3 survivors on the first level, including Dr. Bert, Dr. Veronica, and another scientist. But before they can even begin to understand what happened, Veronica is attacked and killed by a mutated creature that was once a human. The creature's eyes are vacant, its skin twisted and distorted, and its movements are jerky and unnatural. As the captain's team tries to process what they are seeing, they realize that the creature is not the only one. More and more of these mutated beings begin to emerge, attacking the soldiers with ferocity. It becomes clear that anyone who came into contact with the alien gate has been transformed into these violent, zombie-like creatures. Joanna's team is also under attack, and they are vastly outnumbered. The mutants are relentless, and the soldiers are forced to fight for their lives. Despite their training, they are no match for the sheer number of mutants, and they begin to fall one by one. As the two teams reunite, they are met with a hail of gunfire from the mutants. Despite their valiant efforts, many of their comrades have fallen, and the remaining soldiers are vastly outnumbered. In a desperate bid to save his team, Captain Savage stays behind, fighting off the mutants as the others make a break for the exit. He sacrifices himself, buying his team just enough time to escape. As they flee, Joanna's anger and frustration boil over. She demands to know what Bennett and the USA company have been hiding from her, and what exactly they were doing on the moon that led to this catastrophe. Bennett, shaken by the events unfolding around him, hesitates before revealing the truth. Dr. Bert, still reeling from the loss of his colleagues, steps forward to explain. He reveals that his team had been searching for a new home for humanity, a planet that could sustain human life. After years of searching, they stumbled upon the alien technology on the moon, which seemed to hold the key to teleportation. Believing they had discovered a way to travel to other planets, they began experimenting with the gates. But, as they soon discovered, the technology came with a terrible cost. Anyone who traveled through the gates would undergo a DNA transformation, their human DNA slowly being replaced by alien DNA. As the team makes their way to the exit, Bert's companion reveals that he had seen aliens entering the base through the gates, and that they were unlike anything he had ever seen before. He believes that these aliens may have been responsible for the mutation of the crew members. Dr. Bert, however, is still adamant that they should not leave the base, as it would mean abandoning all their research. Joanna, however, is not willing to risk the lives of her remaining soldiers. With the power level at 1%, she knows that they must escape immediately. Despite Dr. Bert's refusal, Joanna's team begins to take the 3 survivors with them, determined to escape the base and make their way back to Earth. As they reach the vessel, Joanna informs the survivors that they will be launching the ship soon and leaving the base behind. She also sends a message to pilot Morgan in the control room, instructing him to prepare for launch. However, there is no response on the radio, and Joanna's worst fears are confirmed when she discovers Morgan's lifeless body in the control room. Joanna's eyes widen in horror as she sees the pilot's body, and she quickly realizes that they are not alone on the vessel. Suddenly, a strange alien creature attacks her and her 2 companions from behind. The creature is unlike anything Joanna has ever seen before, and it seems to be able to create energy waves from its own body, attacking without the need for any weapons. Joanna manages to escape, but her 2 companions are killed by the alien. As she emerges from the control room, she sees another alien arriving on the scene, and it quickly dispatches the rest of her companions. Joanna is left alone, and she knows that she must act fast to survive. She sees Dr. Bert and Dr. Veronica, the only 2 survivors, and quickly moves to escort them to safety. As Joanna is about to be killed by the alien, the 2 remaining soldiers burst into the scene, firing their guns and killing the creature. The 5 survivors, Joanna, the 2 soldiers, Dr. Veronica, and Dr. Bert, are left shaken but alive. However, their relief is short-lived, as they realize that they are now stranded on the alien moon with no way to escape. Their pilot, Morgan, is dead, and their vessel is destroyed. destroyed. Dr. Burt suggests that they return to the base and restore power to the alien gates, which is their only hope for survival. The group quickly makes their way back to the base, knowing that they have only 20 minutes left before the reactor explodes. Bennett, the only engineer left alive, rushes to the reactor and begins the reboot process. As the countdown timer ticks away, Bennett works frantically to restore power to the base. The tension is palpable as the group waits anxiously for the outcome. Finally, with only seconds to spare, Bennett successfully reboots the reactor and the base is restored to power. The survivors breathe a sigh of relief, thinking that they can now use the alien gates to escape. But Dr. Burt's expression turns sinister as he reveals a shocking truth. He had already gone through the portal before the chaos began, and when he came out, he was no longer human. Dr. Burt's eyes gleam with an otherworldly intensity as he turns on the others. He kills Dr. Veronica and imprisons the remaining soldiers, including Joanna, inside the base. As the scene unfolds, it becomes clear that Dr. Burt's plan was to use Bennett to reboot the reactor, allowing him to open the portal and unleash the aliens on Earth. Dr. Burt's sinister intentions are revealed, and the survivors realize that they are in grave danger. Joanna, Bennett, and the two remaining soldiers engage in a fierce battle against the aliens. But despite their bravery, the two soldiers are killed while trying to protect Joanna and Bennett. Dr. Veronica, who is mortally wounded, hands Joanna her security card and warns her that Dr. Burt will try to open the portal and send the aliens to Earth. Dr. Veronica also reveals that they have developed some weapons using the alien technology, which may be effective against the creatures. She urges Joanna and Bennett to use these weapons to stop Dr. Burt and prevent the aliens from invading Earth. Joanna and Bennett quickly head to retrieve the weapons, but in the chaos, Bennett is bitten by a mutant. Enraged and heartbroken, Joanna is left alone to face Dr. Burt and the aliens. With a fierce determination, Joanna storms into the lab, refusing to let Dr. Burt open the portal. As Joanna tries to stop Dr. Burt from opening the gates, she is attacked from behind by Bennett, who has now been fully mutated. Joanna is forced to fight off Bennett, while Dr. Burt continues to work on opening the gates. Despite her best efforts, Dr. Burt finally succeeds in opening the gates, and he begins to move towards the portal. Joanna, desperate to stop him, shoots Bennett and then turns her gun on Dr. Burt. However, to her shock, Dr. Burt does not die. Instead, he stands up again, revealing that he is no longer human. Dr. Burt explains that when he went through the portal earlier, he was not returned to his human form. Instead, his brain was taken over by the alien creatures, who used him to build a portal that would connect the Earth to their planet. The aliens' plan was to use the humans' energy to open the portal, allowing them to invade the Earth. Dr. Burt then throws Joanna into the portal, and she finds herself on a dark and strange planet. Despite being able to breathe, the planet's atmosphere is eerie and foreboding. Joanna is scared and starts to move forward, but she is soon surrounded by a group of large and menacing aliens. The leader of the aliens reveals that this planet is their home, and that they had deliberately left their technology on the Phobos moon in order to lure humans into opening the portal. The aliens' energy had been depleted, and they needed the humans' energy to open the portal and connect their planet to the Earth. The alien leader explains that Dr. Burt's trip through the portal had allowed them to control his mind, and that they had used him to build the portal that would allow them to invade the Earth. As the alien leader orders his minions to kill Joanna, she knows she must act fast to save her life. With thousands of aliens hot on her heels, Joanna starts running for her life. As she falls, she spots the portal that brought her to this alien planet and quickly grabs the bombs made by the scientists using the alien technology. With the aliens closing in, Joanna throws the bombs at them, creating a diversion that allows her to jump back into the portal and escape. She finds herself back at the Earth's base, where she is greeted by Dr. Ahmed. Dr. Ahmed is shocked to see Joanna return alone and asks her what happened. Joanna, still shaken by her ordeal, quickly explains that the aliens are coming and that they must close the portal immediately. Dr. Ahmed and the team quickly spring into action, closing the portal and preventing the aliens from invading Earth. Joanna is the only survivor of the Phobos base, and she is left to process the traumatic events she experienced. The story ends with Joanna's narrow escape and the closure of the portal, preventing the alien invasion.